Yo, what's up, guys? Side5 Gaming here. Just gonna go over some stuff. You know, the first ranking event is over. Thank God for some people. You know, kind of a well, it totally was a super ultra mega grind fest. We got through it. Some people stopped, you know, short right after they got the level 1 Fritz. Some people kept going. Let's just go through real quick, see where I ended up, what I picked up. Just maybe show off some of the Fritz build, talk a little bit about its skills and whatnot, primarily that level 3 skill. So coming up here, you know, when it was really cool logging in, seeing the screen, you know, first ranking match finished. I ended up second in my group, primarily because I only got to play the second weekend, but I just, you know, put my head down and tried to crush as much as I could. Ended up in P2 with 44,910, and that left me with, what is it, 1,825th place in total ranking. Coming in here, you see this is the list of, you know, all the stuff that you get for placing where you placed, and where I placed in there. So coming through, see what it looks like in the store, or in the supply. And we're picking it up. Pretty cool stuff there. Got the Echous special ops gear from Unicorn. Really cool to see that. Kind of go over that here in a second, because I kind of like the I think I like my Ensign helmet better than the Echous helmet, so it's not so bright green, you know, the bright green fishbowl in your face. But whatever, to each their own. So let's check out that right now. Actually, before we do that, I forgot, I can go in the database and still look up the ranking. So here I was in the group. I primarily used actually my mass production gun cannon with the dual 100 millimeters. I didn't see very many of those out there, but since the EZ8 was weak to ballistics, which is kind of funny, that thing absolutely chewed him up, because, you know, it was a target-rich environment with all those EZ8s running around out there. Too easy. You know, got pretty good at fighting those things. Let's see, total ranking. Look at all those platinum emblems. Pretty cool how they updated them to show that. That's really neat. P1 crushing it with 189,000. My God. I guess if I would have played both weekends, I mean, and if I would have scored the same amount in both weekends or thereabouts, I would have been pretty close to where Akari is at 80 grand. You know, so yeah, 80 grand, 88 grand, somewhere in there. Pushing hard, I barely edged out Leo and Harley. Actually, barely edging out Leo there at the end with it was just with the last two games. I mean, you know, I thought it was over in my second to last game, and then, you know, I knew there was 5 minutes left, but I didn't think I was going to be able to get in the queue, because obviously some people were having some trouble getting in. I know Leo was having some trouble getting in the game, because we were all in, you know, in a party talking about it while it was going on. But I was able to get one last game in, and that was pretty much different. You know, I won my last two games, did well, and that was it. So, but mega props to Akari and to Z28 David for grinding it out. Let's take a look at some of the goodies then, like I was talking about. Coming in here, normal suit Echous 01, 3-star. Pretty neat. Let's see if I can. You can't pull it up right there. I was gonna try and zoom in on the arm patch there. Pretty cool. Interesting blue shade of blue that's added in there. I bought the kind of like the OD green contacts to go with it. Oh, there we go. Now we can kind of see the patch, the Echous patch. Yeah, I had the black contacts, but I wanted to see if I could get, or what are these, like a gray? Because I know there's like maybe a darker one. Every now and then they release more colors in the recycle store. But so here's the Echous helmet, right? I actually kind of dig it more with this one, with the heavy helmet PMU 06. So see how it's saying with the bright green shield on the SOS, and then with the brown fishbowl, I kind of like that a little bit better. Either way, I think I'm just gonna run the green contacts, ground combat, yeah, and set that up. And space use, really like this dark ensign suit that we got. This is what you get when you break into the officer levels, the officer ranks. If you guys haven't got there yet. And now let's take a look at what we got at the Fritz here. And I'm going to focus specifically on the level 3. Here's my my Vader build. That helmet just kind of lended it to, it was too easy to kind of make it look like Darth Vader. Just kind of what I was thinking. So, you know, shiny boots, shiny gauntlets, mixing in the gray and the black stripes in the chest. Had a little red in there to kind of go along with, you know, the instrumentation on his chest and whatnot, but whatever, pretty fun. So the important stuff, obviously it's like the standard FZ, this being the FZ Type B, you know, MMP 80 standard bazooka. It's got the Sturmfaust in there as a backup, really cool. So, you know, multiple stun opportunities here, but the real big deal is this right here, EAC level 2, allowing it to do 2 dodge rolls if you haven't used up any of your boost, and we're gonna go check that out right now. Let's go drop in the practice space. So if you have the level 1 and the level 2, you know, they say this one will be released later on. If you weren't fortunate enough to grab the level 3. I'm just really happy that I got, you know, the level 3, because this is where it was at for me. I was like, if I was going to get one, I really wanted to see what a game changer that double dodge roll was going to be. You know, and you can go, if you have the level 1, you can go into the database and just go look at all of the other levels that go with it. So, you know, I think it's a great, like, as I just call pawn, I think it's a great frontliner. You know, not necessarily great at any one thing, awesome mobility, pretty decent health. So roll number 1, roll number 2, really cool with that. But the other thing that's interesting that you can do, you know, utilizing that is roll and then tackle at the same time. So if you were coming in here trying to do a blast combo, you could come through, and you have to be careful, you know, doing the blast and hack, because I think that honestly you would want to try and not use that up, use up your boost. Just try and use his walking speed, you know. So, well, I gotta get better at at doing that, and switching it up. I never really use it that much. So let's see if we can actually do that instead. If we have the range for it. Yeah, see, so if I would have pulled it up properly, I don't know, I just always have a hard time doing that sometimes when I'm just trying to do it in practice. But either way, so if we roll and then tackle, that's, I think, the really important thing. So you could roll out of a bazooka strike and then, you know, roll into easily counter them with a tackle right after that. And then kind of just changing up, you know, if you're normally using the blast and hack combo a lot, just trying to get in the habit of maybe getting within range to where you don't have to use up any of that boost to knock them down. I was trying to do a roll out. So if we were to go roll out after that, you're getting double teamed, and then you can go right into it. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty neat right there. Let's see if we can actually get a better look at this thing. Check the shininess of it. Looks really cool when the eyes turned off like that. Well, yep, that's it. So, one of my other viewers, I think it was Wu Fei, he was asking about my inventory, because he made a little video showing off his, and he wanted me to, you know, to show all the suits that I have in there, in mine so far. So why not? Just kind of having fun here. So I find the easiest way to do it, instead of coming through here, I mean, I obviously have mine set up for cost, because for me it's the easiest way. You know, I get into a game, what's the first thing you look at? It's like, oh, it's 200 cost. Okay, so I have 200s and 250s, 300s, 350s, and then this is just 400 and up for tag number 3. But in the all, it just makes more sense to me, so I can easily zip through and get right to the number I need to get to after I see the cost limit for the room. Now, doing it by by name order, you can see it. Yeah, I've cleared out, most of the grunts. Most people have seen that I have very few the suits left in the store to actually purchase. But let's see. I find the easiest way to count what you have is to go into paint. Now, on my American account, I already have a Zamel and I already have an F2. I think those are the only 2 unique suits that I have on that account. So coming in through here, we have the Akai, Blue Destiny. Let's see, Blue Destiny in kind of Titans-ish colors. Jungle camo or woodland camo. Desert. Old Desert Jimmy, Desert Boy, Standard Dom. The early pro Gelgoog or Gelgoog Commander. 200 cost Draw C is the only Draw C that I was fortunate enough to get. Here's the new Doge, rocking my original paint job. The primer in bronze. I really like this one. Red kind of pops out there. Dom Tropin, another favorite. Used this a couple times during the tournament. I'm just not used to that Dom movement, and that's really helped. That's kind of really hurt me with the Doge as well, because I mean this thing does absolutely massive damage with its tomahawk downswing. The tomahawk downswing, it seems like it just ignores the class modifiers, man. I mean on a gun cannon, I did over 6,000 damage in one hit to a gun cannon when he was on the ground with it. Crazy. And then in the blues, I mean, you still do 22 to 2,500 damage on a blue suit with that thing. Standard of Fritz, the old shotgun guy. Just picked this one up. This thing is absolute easy mode. My God. Ran an ace match last night and just crushed it. Like 4 wins in a row. Pretty much MVP the whole time. It's a gun cannon on steroids, and it's amazing. It's amazing how much damage this thing can put out. The OG FA, as I call it, Old Ugly, because I mean, we called it that in the beginning because this paint job is actually a little bit brighter than the way it looks on Battle Record. So it's usually pretty. There's a lot more gross looking in the original artwork. Standard Jimmy Cannon, also in the blue and red. Ground type Jim. Looking for the new level of this. Really want to mess around with that. GM Space type, or GM Command Space type in Titans. Standard GM Command on the ground. My absolute favorite Jimmy right here, the Cold Boy, as Spud calls it. I call it the Arctic Arctic Jim Cold Districts type. Jim Kai, the old Meta Master from the beginning. Oh, excuse me, still trying to get over this sore throat I've been having for a week. Jim Light Armor, really like this in 200 cost. Night Seeker, Robocop. Jim Sniper. And that's the thing, is that I have pretty much all the levels of these for the most part. Except for the banner suits. Got the 400 cost standard Mass Pro Gelgoog, the Shooter, Jim Striker, Jim Sniper 2. Wait, what paint job do I have? I got the blue one. That one looks cool. Kind of a SWAT team-esque paint job on that. Sniper Custom. The old Pistolero. Still never released any of that footage. Sorry, I probably should have released that footage before it became, mega popular and everybody had it. But probably still let that out later on. Gelgoog High Mobility type. This suit, Leo and I go back and forth about this suit. I mean, we're both on the same page, but it's about kind of not necessarily a love-hate thing. I mean, it can do so much melee damage, but it has access to so many firearms and good grenades. It seems kind of a waste to have it as a melee suit. Like, it's just kind of annoying that that's the way they set up its stats. Standard Goof. Good old personal favorite, the Goof Custom. I really need to get the 350 version so I can mess around in lower tier. I've only ever had the 450 version of this suit. Gun cannon. Good old gun cannon. 8th MS team. Gundam ground type. Always really like this one. Looks good in a variety of camouflages as well. This is a kind of a Tar Heels-esque. Light blue. Woodland and the tropical. Old Granddad RX-78-2. Check that out in Titan setup. Little bright Titans. And Mass Pro gun cannon. Man, I don't know how many matches I did in this thing. It was probably over. I probably crushed over 100 matches. You know, sorties in this thing now, having used it so much in the tournament. The Gundam ground type weapons rack. Another easy mode suit. This thing, that cannon puts out absolute hate. It's ridiculous how much damage that thing can do. Gundam Pixie in the 450 version. A little stealth mouse. Gun tank. And then mass production gun tank. This was my secondary suit that I used for, that I won the last 2 matches in the tournament. This thing, I mean, I went back and forth between the Type S 350 and then this suit, and this one came out on top. And actually, the difference, I mean, I even had the Type S set up to make the exact same stats as this suit, defense-wise and whatnot, and in health. But I was surprised, you know, this one actually outshone the Type S, and it was only because it has the ground compatibility upgrades. The Type S does not. Since this is only viable on the ground, I guess they gave it the ground upgrade and the ground buff, and it just adds so much more mobility. It's extremely noticeable. But love this suit. Love the loadout. High mobility Zaku II R2. You know, love this one. Had it set up as Gabby Hazard for a while. Really cool suit. Amazing ranged output. Really cool. I've seen a couple ace matches where this guy was using the boombox, and he was the ace with this thing in the R2 Hymo on the ground. That's really interesting. This thing shines in space, of course. Coming up standard R1 Hymo Zaku, then the GAN, the IGOG. Love this thing. Used this a couple times during the tournament. You know, it really does well in that open territory where you can, you know, get good long shots with the beams and with the old traffic cone giant missile. Power Gym, saw a lot of these out there, sealing up the, you know, trying to pin down the raid types. It's really good. He does massive damage with that bazooka, and then his beam saber. You know, he shares the same beam saber as the Gundam, so he does a lot of, even though it's a level 1, that beam saber does a lot of damage. Coming in with the Rick Dom, then the Zegok. I have level 1 and level 2. About to post up some footage of this guy right here. Just ran my first sortie in this thing and killed it with the freaking with the Zaku 2 MG. That was a lot of fun. I think it was doing like 270 damage per shot. You'll see. Really still like the Zaku 1. I really like that suit still. Liking the Zaku Desert type. Just a good assortment of weapons. Really fun suit to use. I mean, it's just straight up fun. The only thing that would make this suit, I mean, maybe almost OP or just way better, I mean, even better, is if it had access to the MMP-80. I really wish it had access to the MMP-80. You know, as it is right now, you know, we talk about this a lot in the streams, like how many suits can use the Federation bullpup? Tons of them, tons of them. And how many suits can use the MMP-80? 2 suits. As far as I know, it's the Zaku cannon, you know, my old standby. I started the game with this, ranked up with this primarily throughout the, you know, when I first got it. It was one of the first suits I got. So the MMP-80 can only be used by this guy, and then the standard Zaku 2. What's up with that? I'd really like to see the MMP-80 on the Desert Zaku, and that would be fantastic. Zaku Sniper, Zaku 1 Sniper type, always good. Burst gun, a lot of fun with that. Good old standard Zaku 2. this thing tears it up with the MP80. You know, I really like it. Here's a Zaku II FZ Type B, the Fritz Helmet, in my Vader colors. And I've always liked the FZ, just because I liked shooting suits primarily, and the FZ was always, I always liked it, man. It had a dodge roll, you know, when we first found it, it had a dodge roll, had, you know, a grenade launcher and a fast firing gun. I think it's just super easy to use. I think it's a great suit for new players. Just always really liked it. I've gotten ace with it plenty of times, actually. Moving on, we got the Zogak. Really cool suit. I wish I could spend more time, or I need to spend more time in this thing, try and master it a little bit. Seen guys in the Discord, God, who is it? Is it Leather? I don't remember. And he loves the thing. He puts up really great numbers with this. I gotta try and learn the ways of the Zogak. Zaku Tank, this thing, don't ever sleep on this thing. This thing is a murder machine. I think it's actually quite good. I've seen, you know, this dude just rain hell on people in a lot of matches and be super annoying to me, you know, in the background. Here we are, Type S. You know, before I had the high mobility ground, man, and I still do like this one in 350. The 350 trim, it gets so much extra health. I really, really like it, but unfortunately, I guess because, you know, it has access to, it can be used in space and on the ground. It doesn't have a compatibility buff. Now, I know, the R2 HIMO, as I said, you know, when it came out, that one actually does have a space buff, but this one does not. So, I don't know. With any kind of compatibility upgrade, this thing would be near OP, I think. Fantastic suit in 350. The lower level suits, you know, pretty fragile. You gotta be careful. Zaku II Type S. Zaku Type FS, excuse me. The Hatchet Man. The serial killer, as I call it. This thing's brutal. Then good old Zuda. Lil Zuda. Always loved it, always will. MS Igloo, people. I love love that series. Really awesome. So all in all, what do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's actually 7. So around 57, there's what, like 60, 65 suits in the game right now? But yeah, that's it. One of the other things, real quick while I'm here, on the OG FA, this thing actually has a space compatibility, and it is really cool in space. You know, I just recently got this. I'm sure a lot of people who've had it for a while have, you know, already knew that. But you know, you can, when you have the space compatibility upgrade, you get high performance balancer in space. So you can do a blast and hack combo with this guy if you fancy getting that close to him. But anyway, I think that's gonna do it, guys. Just wanted to, you know, share some of the new stuff and go over whatever we got in the rewards. And I will see you guys on drop night, and stay tuned for some other videos coming up very soon. Thanks. See you out there.